We've got David Morales of the Three Sonorans in studio. David, how you doing?
Good, James. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you, especially because, we're in the midst of this political season. So much is going on with TUSD. I wanted to have you in yesterday, David, because I started the show off absolutely stunned by the TUSD's attack on KQTH 9's Valerie Cavazos, their investigative reporter, who they had praised in the past, but last Friday they came out with a hit piece, man, and it was personal. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is, if you have a complaint with what the information that was reporting, you go after that. They didn't do that. They went after her. Wanted you to weigh in on that.
Well, I mean, it's a scary time we're living in where I've been meeting with lots of teachers throughout TUSD. More and more are reaching out to me anonymous. Well, I know who they are, but, they want to stay anonymous.
Right.
And, there's so many afraid of speaking out right now. And the only recourse they had was, on a big level, Valerie. Of course, they have my blog too. But, Valerie's voice is really powerful. And now they're going after her. And, if you take her out, then who's gonna keep TUSD accountable for what they do. And
well, you and Kagan or Valerie have been at this a long time. I know the ADI has been at it. I'm probably the new kid on the block, but they went after her. They went after her in such a way that it speaks to panic on their end, David, and it also illustrates what so many teachers are afraid of, because they can go after Valerie and there'll be a recourse because, you have people like us out there. But if a teacher were to say something and the same administration will go after that teacher, go after that individual, what recourse do they have?
Well, the thing is, there's actually a lot of stories that are happening right now, this semester, this past week, that go to what, Valerie has been talking about. And some of these teachers are, you can even see it in the comment sections and people who know former teachers so they sorry, I got disconnected.
So right.
So it's out there, and I was talking to a group of parents this weekend, and the things that they say about their kids' safety is TUSD is in gross violation of, first of all, the desegregation order.
Yes.
The magnet schools are it's not safe sometimes to send your kids to school anymore, and you have no teachers. The substitute teachers they're not even grading. I heard this one story about this honor student in 7th grade who doesn't even know if he's going to stay on honor roll because he doesn't know his math grade because there's no teacher grading the math class. So the report cards are due next week, and he doesn't even know what his grade is in math, and he's a good student. This is the stuff that some people are going through right now.
And I remember when I was way back in middle school, there was a year where there was a breakdown in the school, and we had 22 algebra teachers in 1 year, and the class was completely out of control. There was no discipline whatsoever, and it all came back because when I was in college, I placed out of trigonometry, but I flunked algebra. It's like, well, how is that possible? And then I had to tell the story about what was going on in that classroom that particular period. You're talking about that going on across the district, man. You're talking about gaps of that nature going across the district, and they're being unaddressed. Instead of spending the energy and the time addressing those very real problems, you have the administration going after the messenger. They're trying to kneecap the woman who's bringing it to the public's attention.
And so one of the reasons I'm really active in TUSD is because I'm a college math professor here in Tucson, and I see students that went to Pueblo, went to Choya, that went to TUSD, and some other districts too, and they're coming into my class not even prepared to do remedial math, and yet they have credit sometimes for AP Calculus. And so how is it that you're in AP Calculus, you have credit for that, and then you're tested into pre-algebra? So there's something going on. And so this is something I'm really passionate about because I love math a lot, and I want these students to know math. And, I'm dealing with, what TUSD is not doing. So I'm going at TUSD now and saying, what are you guys doing wrong? And I realize they're doing a lot wrong. And so I'm going to stand up for it. But it's sad that they want to silence the voices that are shedding truth on what's going on.
TUSD's campaign is heating up, and you're on top of this one. We found out last week that Cam Morris did not return the money, the $5,000, because he didn't have it to return. And we covered that story. But what are you seeing on the campaign trail out there as things are heating up?
So, when I go to these forums, there's sometimes Democratic politicians there, and one of them is State Senator. I drew a blank right now. He's my senator. Right. But anyways, I saw him at the recent one, and he said that Bruce Wheeler's his name. Sorry, I kept thinking about that. Mm-hmm. And he said that as long as they return their money, he'll keep endorsing them.
Oh.
And it turns out that Cam didn't.
Right.
So, I asked him, I said, so what do you think about this? And he says, well, if he's going to keep this money, I'm pulling my endorsement right away. So just today on 3 Sun Orange, you can see it that
he did?
One Democratic state senator has pulled their endorsement of Cam Juarez because of this kickback donation that he refused to give back.
Right. Mm-hmm. Wow. So, okay, that's a huge development. In these forums, do the people who are running, the Betts, Hidalgo, Putmans, and others, are they getting heard?
Well, I mean, they're trying as much as they can.
Let me rephrase this question: is anybody breaking through?
Well, I think Betts has a really good chance of winning this year. She's getting endorsements from everywhere. Just today, the TUSD whistleblowers announced their endorsements, and they include her. And I think the thing is, local like school board isn't really conservative or liberal. It's about reality. It's about mathematics. It's about, are you balancing the budget? Are you paying the teachers? Mm-hmm. Filling the classroom with certified teachers that are qualified? Are the kids safe? That's something we can all agree with. So, unfortunately for some, they use the TUSD school board as a jumping board to hire office. And so,
right. Yeah. So this is going to, well, I'll save that. I'll save that comment. Let me switch up here from the school board to the sheriff's department, because you had something to say about that last time you were here. And you were the one, I think, first on my show publicly to talk about how this all is connected. Mm-hmm. When we're looking at these different institutions that run the joint here in Pima County. Nanos got caught lying about an endorsement. He pulled out of the Green Valley debate, and the Green Valley News goes on full blast. What are your impressions with this whole thing?
Well, like you said, it is connected. So you have Barbara Lawal, who was afraid to, Democrat afraid to debate, and I think now you have Sheriff Nanos. They're these people who are like the top law enforcement related people in this county are afraid to be accountable, which is interesting because they have no problem going through your stuff in your house and everything. Mm-hmm. And so I think, in my opinion, the 3 most important races for Tucsonans is, TUSD is just one of my passions. So TUSD is important.
Huge.
Pima County Board of Supervisors, I think Kim DeMarco is a crucial race. Ali's going to win. Steve Christie's going to win. But it'd be nice to have a third voice in there to change the majority. And I think the sheriff's race is crucial. I just don't like, Nanos, there's something about him that kind of scares me a little bit. That like he's the kind of guy who would have people following you if you're a political dissident or something. And it just kind of reminds me of like the Old South and, driving behind you. And I don't really like that.
Now, I haven't talked to you about this. That's funny that you would make that observation. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, but I know it happened. I had a guest in my studio last week, and when he left, did you hear about this? I didn't even tell Ross. When he left, there was someone out there eyeing him up. There was someone there following him from the sheriff's department. And I thought that was, I mean, the last time I heard something that happened, I forgot the name of the gentleman who was running for sheriff or
Stanton?
No, this is like 4 years ago. Anyway, he was here. He did a great interview. He walked out, and it was Grijalva's people. Grijalva was in the back of a car because he couldn't drive. But it's like they were trying to intimidate him. And like, what is this? Does that actually work? Or I walk out and there you are. Ooh, I'm supposed to be afraid. But it is creepy. And you made that observation without even knowing that took place last week.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's going to sound weird, but I'm going to make an analogy with voodoo. They say like if someone casts a voodoo spell on you, like if you believe it, it might happen. But if you don't believe in it, nothing will happen. And I think politics is kind of like that, where, you become part of this entrenched, philosophy or group of people. And if they cast their spell, we're not going to endorse you. We're going to, you're not going to be in the club anymore. Then it matters a lot. But if you're someone like me who doesn't care, I mean, I don't care what Grijalva says about me. I don't care what they say about me because I'm not under their spell anymore, and not that I was, but I was a Democratic PC for a while. And, I saw how, like right now with the TUSD board race, everyone has to endorse each other and everyone endorses the board, the Pima County Board of Supervisors. Everyone has to endorse Nanos. Everyone has to endorse this same group of people, which is why I think it was pretty brave of Bruce Willer to take a stand today and say, I'm not going to endorse Cam because of it's corrupt. So at some point you have to, take off you have to break the spell and just tell the truth.
I think the fact that you are here in the circus breaks the spell. I think the fact that we had you and Michael Hicks here at the same time kind of breaks that spell. I think that the fact that the Theresa Norins and the circus are sort of like cross-pollinating, that the Green Tea Coalition, if you will, does break that spell. And I agree with you, and I like the analogy, voodoo politics, to where if you believe it, you will kowtow and submit to a lot of the intimidation out there. But once you stop believing it, then you find a whole new strength, and you see a whole different type of fear in the very people that we're trying to get out of office.
Exactly.
I appreciate you coming here and giving us a chance to catch up. We love hearing about the politics from your perspective, Morales, because of what you bring to the table. And we'll continue to talk to you this election season and beyond. See,
just want to remind everyone that there's the last forum tonight at Palo Verde High School for TUSD at 6:30.
6:30 tonight at Palo Verde High School, the last candidates forum for TUSD. Make sure you get it. Will you be there?
Of course
I'll Absolutely, he will be. Morales, thank you very much for stopping in.
Thanks for having me.
You're listening to 104.1 KQTH, Tucson's News and Talk.